Hello and welcome to Mad Owl Goes Racing, and today we're back in Automobilista 2, and I thought I'd have a quick look at the update on 0.9.6, which is the near 0.9.6.1. There's a surprise. Now there's actually been a couple of updates. I think one of these, or both of these, may have already gone to EA. I can't remember, I haven't checked, but I should have done this a few days ago, but people keep asking me to do this thing called, what was it again? Oh yeah, work. They might even pay me for it, you never know. Right, changelog, UI and HUD, added speed sensitivity and minimum shift time configurations to control options. Now, there is an addendum, which I'll get around to reading in a minute, and the first thing on that was they'd forgotten to put the labels on, but basically under your options for your controls, you'll now find under configuration, speed sensitivity and minimum shift time. Well, the speed sensitivity is mostly for people using controllers or very low, I was going to say quality, but not low rotation wheels. So if you've got a wheel that's less than 270 degrees, you're probably going to want to have speed sensitivity, because you end up with all these non-linearities in the steering and all sorts of things, and you might be better off using speed sensitivity, so the faster you go, the less sensitive the steering becomes. Because obviously if you turn your wheel sort of that much, and I'm talking about the actual steering wheels at the front of the car, not that steering wheel, if you turn the wheel that much at slow speed, it has a much less effect than doing it at high speed. So obviously what you want this for you to do is on your steering wheel to only do when you're going fast and that when you're going slow. So that's what that does. I hope I explained that correctly and well, and if you didn't understand it, comment below and I'll see if I can make some slightly better sense in English. That was meant to be English, but minimum shift time, again, if you've got dodgy buttons on your wheel, when you, or your controller or whatever you're using, sometimes when you press to go up or down a gear, it will try and go up or down 2 gears or 3. I think I've actually had a dodgy button do something like 4 gears in one go, which was slightly annoying. Luckily I think that was on a lap change, so I went sort of like 1st to 5th or something stupid, and I was like, what's going on here? Well, this will effectively give a delay before it allows another hit on the button, so it gets a hit and goes, no, can't do anything, can't do anything. And you'll sort of multiple, if you've got a dodgy button, and it's sort of giving multiple outputs when you've only hit it once. You should have debouncing circuits in the wheel or in the software, but they don't always put them in, so it has to be in the game, which is always a bit silly. But basically, if you try and adjust it with your mouse, you might find it's not working particularly well. So you might want to, I did find that if I adjusted it with the mouse, it didn't actually save the number I'd put in. So I set it to 100 and it came up as 14 when I went back in, so slightly strange. Don't go too high, because if you go up to 100, I don't know what the units are for it. If you go up to 100, it takes about a second before you can change gear again, which is a little extreme. I think if your buttons are that bad, you probably need to change your controller. So I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on 5. Won't hurt. So that should hold, hopefully. Just come back in and have a look. Yep, that's held right. So speed sensitive steering, if you've got a reasonable wheel with 900 degrees, whatever, you really don't need to worry about it. Or if you've set your wheel to something like 540 degrees, you don't have to worry about it probably either. Minor UI label fixes. Yeah, I'm reading things again now. So physics revised yaw sensitivity for aero elements in all high downforce cars. So again, they're talking about what happens when your car's going sideways. Does it suddenly lose a load of downforce, or does it not lose as much? Don't know, doesn't say, just says it's been revised. Adjusted steel brake heating build-up. Again, steel brakes, if you don't get them warm, they don't work that well. They're nowhere near as bad as something like carbon composite brakes, although the carbon composite brakes have got a lot better over the years. The original carbon composite brakes basically didn't work until they got them up to sort of 1200 degrees C or something stupid. Modern ones, you can have them on a road car, so they must be fairly good without heating up too much. But steel brakes, I mean, I've certainly noticed it on motorcycles more than I have cars over the years, but you do have to get the brakes, sort of give them a few pulls before they start to work really well. Though generally speaking, that's been with sintered brake materials, so whether that's something that plays into that at all. Revised slick treads performance on wet and road tread performance on wet, so whether that's improved it or made it worse, I don't know. But minor tyre tread adjustments for Super V8, Formula V12 and Formula Classic Gen 3. Revised rear wing efficiency for Formula Classics, Formula V12, Formula Racer, Formula Ultimate, Formula 301 and 309. Various minor default setup adjustments. Minor fine tuning of car-specific FFB values. Fixed excessive front brake cooling in Caterhams. Apparently in the last update they were basically never getting any heat in them, which, going back to the steel brakes not working when they're cold, doesn't help. Revised engine output for Formula Vintages V8 and V12. I think they may have reduced them, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check. Minor revisions, sorry, this is tracks. Minor revisions to various climate, lighting and fog values. It says values twice, I don't know. AI. Increase the range of AI performance at both ends of the scale. Slower at 70%, faster at 120% relative to version 0.9.6.0, which is, like I said last time, I said I think it needed a bit more range in it, and that's precisely what they've done. They might do a bit more on it, I don't know. I did check, I reran basically what I did the other day, and the difference in the AI was around about 2.5 to 3 seconds. Longer lap times at 70% and shorter lap times at 120%, so the spread's gone up by 5 or 6 seconds, which is not too bad. So it's gone from about 12 or 13% up to about 18% difference between fastest and last. Further revised AI throttle application gaps for GT and Formula cars. Increased AI side buffer distance helps preventing AI cars merging back to the racing line too soon. Increased field speed perception. Reduced length ahead factored. Slightly less slowdown impacts. So hopefully when they're racing in packs, they are a bit more aware of what each other are doing and don't end up slowing each other down so much. Reduced minimal lateral distance for defensive moves. Well, that means if they're sort of side by side but not side by side, sideways, but sort of side by. Yeah, come on, brain, start working. If a car's in the head of another car, but sort of like to one side of it, presumably the distance it has to be over before it moves over is reduced. I think that was what I mean. I'll have a think about that. Increased AI lateral rate of movement when calm. Again, that's about when they're not getting all... they'll move over a bit faster. They're also a bit sluggish before. Further reduced AI brake power in GT and prototypes. So you might have a chance of outbraking the bloody things now. Further increased AI care with human players. All I care. Audio. Fixing Super V8 AI interior, engine sound position. Vehicles fixed missing Formula Racer rain lights, further adjusted brake glow ranges, and there is a further smaller update which was fixed the missing UI labels for new speed sensitivity and shift time settings, otherwise you wouldn't be able to read it when I was looking at it. Increased AI side buffer distance helps preventing AI cars merging back to the racing line too. So I don't know if some of these have already been put into the final notes. Increased field speed perception. I think some of these have actually. Yep, they have indeed. Yes, I was about to read something I'd already read. Now, I thought we would have a quick look and see, one, if I can actually drive, which will be a laugh, and two, have a quick look at, do say a 5-lap race with some AI in the dry, and then do the same thing in a storm and see whether or not the sort of wet performance and dry performance are reasonably close in terms of how I perform relative to the AI. Now, this could be a total and utter balls up, because obviously I'm crap. So we'll see how this goes. This might be a complete joke, or it might be quite fine. I'm going at 90 for the AI performance, and I'm starting at the back with 14 same class cars, which are the Formula Classic Gen 3s. That's the V8, the V10 and the V12, if I remember rightly. Ranging from about 650 up to 770 odd horsepower. I've got the middle one of the three, which hopefully is not too leery in the wet, because if it is, I'm going to make a right prat of myself. So I thought we'd try dry first and see how it goes. Whoa! Bit slower for line than I thought they were going to be. He came off a power a bit earlier than I thought it was going to. And there it didn't come off as much as I thought it was going to. Looks like it braked. Oh, he braked a bit early. Hopefully on second lap they'll be a bit more consistent. Way, get away from me a bit. Can I sneak around the outside? Might be alright too if he brakes a bit earlier. That was a bit of a naughty come across the line there. V12 ahead, sounds lovely. Definitely a bit early on the brakes there. Almost took me by surprise that was that early on the brakes. Very slow mid-corner speed there. Get off the grass. I was going to have a look behind me and see how far behind the car it was dropping behind, to see if they've managed to improve the sort of AI getting left behind as soon as you overtake them a bit, but I can't see it because the wing's in the way. But judging by the track map, It definitely dropped off quite a bit. I'll have to look at the replay. I thought they looked like they'd sort of chopped my nose off a bit there. Considering I'm meant to have a bit more awareness of where the player is. Mind you, the mirrors in these are crap, so I can give them an excuse. Oh shit! I don't know how the hell I held on to that. Bit dodgy on the brakes there. Rather abruptly stopped. Stop shooting me, bastards! Huh. Look, not sure what that's all about, but horrendous noises when it finishes, and also switching cameras like that.
Gonna be a bloody heart attack.
Right, so okay, I was 1.5 seconds faster in some free air, so yeah, okay, shh, noisy. Let's see how it goes with a storm. Let's see whether or not I feel like, because it might not necessarily be down to my lap time so much as how I feel I'm getting on against the in the other weather. Okay, I've had a storm. This might be a complete disaster because I might not be able to drive with damn thing in the wet at all. So we'll see. If nothing else, that'll give you a bloody laugh, won't it? Right. First thing, can I get off the line without making a total twat myself by spinning the car? Nearly. Now, why is this AI creeping up the inside and the rest of them are just sitting here like plats? Treading on eggshells. Now, will they be equally slow in the same place? I'm guessing they will be, so... though it's much harder to take advantage of. Whoop! Don't turn in on me. Just checking to make sure he hasn't damaged my car. Oops. Definitely have a slightly softer wet setup by the feels of it. I might shut up a bit here because I'm concentrating. Definitely a bit of understeer here. Didn't want that post anyway, did we? Oh, I know where the corner is. I don't need a post to be able to see it. Oh, blimey, this is hard work. Definitely a lack of bite in the rear tyres here. I can already see wear on the front tyres, so blimey, these things are soft. Oh, and very hairy by the feel of it. Oops, what did I say about not needing that post there? The rear tyres are cooling down a bit too much. I think the right side are, but definite handfuls of understeer there. Bugger all grip from the front tyres at all. So really good spray effect. I don't know if this is exactly the same as Project Cars 2. We're there yet. Monster concentration levels required. No, definitely way too much slow speed understeer. Losing a shed load of time. Tyres are definitely cooling off way too quick. But then, this is meant to be a 90s or 80s, late 80s. I've forgotten what era these are meant to be, but no, it's going to hurt. John! Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Whoop, come on in. I'll have to let them all go past because they're not moving over for me. Oh well. Just going to have a look at the tyre temperatures, and yeah, they're not great. I think they're in Fahrenheit, so they're definitely not great. And suddenly the tyres are not wanting to slow me down, so up until the point the tyres start to cool down a bit, I did feel, God, bloody hell. What sort of times was I doing? Reasonably comparable, so maybe a little, very minor, about just a gnat small grip in those. Certainly, to start with, I didn't feel too bad, but by the end there, I was starting to get a little bit too much cooling. I think in that amount of rain, you probably need. I'll shut them up because they're all those banging noises. Yeah, they're not a million miles out. They're pretty damn close. They feel like they're in the ballpark, certainly. Maybe just a little bit more. Certainly, obviously, you'd need to check across a much wider selection of tracks than one car, one track. But it doesn't feel a million miles out, so that's good to know. So hopefully they've managed to get to the point where the sort of middling AI performance is pretty much on a par with somebody who's getting on a bit and hasn't driven these cars a lot. So I'm sure with loads of practice I'd be even better. Pull the other one. Right, I think that will do for me. So I don't know whether there'll be another update tomorrow or maybe Saturday. I have more work to do, unfortunately. Gets in the way of doing things like this. But for now, from me, enjoy sim racing, stay safe, or go out and have some fun. I don't mind. Yeah, apparently you can now bubble with your next door neighbour. I think that must be a euphemism for having sex with them. I'm not really sure, but whatever. So go bubble your next door neighbour. I'm sure she'll enjoy it, or he, depending upon what you want. I'm not fussy. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. And I've remembered to put it on this side today, so F9 straight away. Goodbye.